Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It is Miss V with Pick a Card Readings. I hope everyone is doing great today. Um, I am so sorry I've been so busy with scheduled readings, so I had to kind of put the videos back because the clients do come first. But I'm glad that I'm back. So with that being said, I want to thank each and every, excuse me, I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel, clicking the like button, commenting. It is greatly appreciated for all of your support. With that being said, I'm coming forth today to do a pick a card reading on karmic lessons. What's yours? Karmic lessons are pretty much your weaknesses. Okay. And so, with that being said, I've already premeditated, and Spirit has provided some messages that they feel you need to hear today. Now, these are general messages. They may and may not apply to everyone. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if you're ever interested in a more personal reading, you can always go to www.spiritualvibrations.org, or you can contact me at spiritualvibrations2018@gmail.com. So with that being said, we have 3 selections here. Take your time, tune in, and ask the divine to point out your karmic lessons. We have 1, 2, and 3. The timestamps will be down below, so if you do not want to listen to the entire intro, then you can go directly to the card that you select. And so with that being said, let's get started with this video. I'm going to push these cards over to the side. We're going to focus on card 1 first. All right. So for those that selected 1, what's your karmic lesson? We have health. We have forgiveness. Forgiveness. Wow, number 1. Pride. Confidence. Patience. And we have self-love. All right, so for those that selected 1, I'm going to move these down a little bit. I do got some room here. Okay. So for those that selected 1, what are your karmic lessons? What are your weaknesses? Okay. So the first thing that comes up is health. So for those that selected 1, you may be going through a lot of health issues at this particular time. Okay. Physical. Whether you've been diagnosed with something, experiencing a lot of pain, going back and forth to the doctor, trying to figure out what's going on with you. This can also be issues with emotional and mental health as well. Okay, so this in itself is something karmic, meaning that this energy here may also be due to aspects of your past life. Okay, so in your past life, you may have also experienced a lot of health issues. And so again, when we do this past life thing, it's nothing but a soul transfer. So in this life, you are experiencing a lot of health issues as well. Okay. And I'm also hearing when it comes to this health issue, for some that selected 1, may also be having like a hard time trying to conceive as well, or issues with conception. Okay. Now we have forgiveness twice. So for those that selected 1, your karmic lesson and your weakness is you have a hard time letting go. You hold on to things. You hold on to grudges. You hold on to pain from the past. You have a hard time really letting go. No matter how hard you try, it always seems to kind of pull you back into this place of stagnation when it comes to wanting to be free, wanting to let go, wanting to forgive yourself, wanting to forgive someone else. But it's very hard for you to do. Okay, so this is also acknowledging one of your karmic lessons and one of your weaknesses. Okay, pride is also something that came up as well for those that selected 1. Now, it's okay to have pride. It's okay to feel confident in who you are, but sometimes too much pride can stand in the way. It can stop your growth. It can stop your blessings. It can stop you from looking at things from a different perspective because you feel a certain way and can't nobody change the way that you think. And your pride can also keep you in a place of not being able to forgive yourself for the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, or your pride can also stand in the way of you forgiving someone else for possible pain that you feel that they may have caused you. And as I say in all of my videos, forgiveness does not mean that you are saying it's okay that this person did you a certain way. It is just acknowledging that you won't allow what this person did to keep you in a place of not being able to be free and having that peace within. So a lot of people that are going through this situation where they have a hard time letting things go, it's that pride that's standing in the way. Okay. We also have confidence. So for those that selected one, again, this will resonate to some and not to all. Take what does and leave what doesn't. You have issues with your confidence, whether it is your confidence in your outside appearance, where you're very judgmental about how you look, what's not right on your body, or this is confidence and a lack of confidence when it comes to things that you want to do. You want to go back to school. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I don't think that I'll be able to learn these courses. I don't think I'll be able to start my own business. I don't think I'll be able to purchase my own property. So for a lot of those who selected one, you have a lack of confidence. And again, karmic lessons is weaknesses. So these messages are coming up for you to try to work on these. Okay. It's not just to know, but it's to know and try to work on these areas that is coming up today. Okay. The next message is patience. So for a lot of those that selected one, your karmic lesson and your weakness is you do not have patience. You want things now. You expect things to happen now. And it don't quite work that way. So Spirit is wanting you to work on having more patience, trusting in divine timing. And just because you feel that is your time is not in the divine plan. Patience could just mean that, you may have short patience with people, with situations. It don't necessarily mean that, you have a lack in patience because you want things done now. It's just that in general, you just have a lack of patience. And that's one of your weaknesses. Okay. And then the next message is self-love. So for some that selected one, your karmic lesson and your weakness is not really truly loving who you are. Some people feel, well, let me go get my hair cut. Let me go get my nails done. Let me go get my lashes done, my feet done. That's superficial. That has nothing to do with the soul. You can look thebomb.org.com, but it is your soul that is not feeling the love. Okay, so for those that selected one, it is acknowledging a need to really truly love yourself. Okay, love every aspect about yourself. The same type of love that you provide to others, give yourself the same type of love. Put yourself priority. Build that confidence up within yourself. Be patient with yourself. Stop being so judgmental about yourself. Stop thinking so negatively about yourself. Have more self-love for yourself to let your pride down. Have more self-love for yourself to let go of things that no longer serve you, that has been holding on to you and preventing you from moving forward. More compassion is needed. And definitely working on your heart chakra as well, especially for those who selected one. Your heart chakra is coming through, your solar plexus is coming through, and your sacral chakra is coming through. So for those that selected one, those are your karmic lessons, your weaknesses. Again, these messages are coming through for you to be able to see and work on them. Now, when it comes to your health, this is a past life soul transfer issue. So the only way that you can work on health is following up with your physician, taking the appropriate action that is needed to better your health, whether it's medication given by the doctor or alternative medicine, diet, water intake, exercise, and things of that nature. So I hope you enjoyed. For those that selected one, click the like button and comment below. Moving on to those who selected two. For those who selected two, what are your karmic lessons? What are your weaknesses? You have baby, You have unrequited love. You have discipline. You have indecision. You have regret. You have health. You have support. And you also have dreams. Okay? So, for those that selected two, what are your karmic lessons? What are your weaknesses? We have the baby. Now, this is not an actual weakness. This is a karmic situation. Meaning, for some that selected two, in this lifetime, you may have had a difficulty getting pregnant. You may have experienced a loss of a child in this lifetime. Whether it was the child leaving this earth after being born or before then. It can also mean that for some, and this is a very few, could be dealing with issues, custody issues with the child. Now, again, this is karmic. This is not a weakness. So this means that in your past life, you may have experienced the same issues in your past life, unfortunately. Again, it's nothing but a soul transfer. Okay? The next message that came through is unrequited love. Now, this is a karmic lesson, and it can also be a weakness. The karmic lesson, meaning that in your past life, you had difficulties when it came to relationships and love. Whether you gave your all to someone and they didn't quite give you that same type of love back, they have hurt you in the past, maybe cheated, maybe disappeared, got married and just completely walked out of your life with no explanation. And so in this life, you experience a lot of heartache when it comes to relationships. I'm hearing trust issues for those that selected two. For some, have a hard time opening up to others and giving your love to others because of this pain from the past. So these are really karmic lessons from the past, things that you went through in the past that you are now experiencing in the present. Okay. Now, we also have discipline. So it is acknowledging that for those that selected two, you have a hard time disciplining yourself when it comes to things that you want to do. You know you want to do something, but you may not put the motivation, the perseverance, the effort that you need to make it successful for yourself. You don't quite discipline yourself when it comes to your goals. For an example, I want to save money. I want to have this amount of money next year. But you don't really put forth the effort. Okay. I want to start school next month or in a couple of years, or I want to buy my own property in a couple of years. You don't actually accomplish what you set your mind to. It just becomes a thought and it stays dormant. And so again, these messages are coming up to acknowledge what are your karmic lessons, what are your weaknesses, but they are being presented to you today for you to see and to possibly take action with cutting those ties and taking these weaknesses and turning them into strengths. So needing to have more discipline and knowing that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Okay. The next message that came up is indecision. So for a lot of those that selected two, your karmic lesson and your weakness is you have a hard time deciding, making decisions, making choices for yourself and in areas in your life. You have a hard time trusting your intuition. So when you have a hard time trusting your intuition, it keeps you in a place of being unsure. What I'm hearing from Spirit is that a lot of those who are dealing with this indecision, they look to others for advice to try to figure out the answers to something that they really have the answers to within. But because they're so indecisive about themselves and have a hard time trusting their intuition, they look for outside support and outside approval. Okay? So again, these are things to work on. We also have regret. So when it comes to your karmic lesson and your weakness, for some, you guys hold on to too much pain from the past. You don't know how to let that go. Things didn't quite work out the way that you hoped for, either for yourself or with a situation or for with a particular person. And you don't quite release that energy. And it's important for those who really feel this regret card. You cannot change the past. You can continue to live in the past, but you won't have that peace that you deserve. You won't have that happiness that you deserve. So it's important for you to try to let go of things that you cannot change. We all regret things, but it doesn't mean that we dwell in the regret that we have. Okay? We also have health. So for some, this is more so a karmic situation than a weakness. Okay? Now, I am hearing something. Spirit is saying that this could also be a weakness, and Spirit gave me a reason why. So going back to the karmic aspect, for those that selected 2, you could have a lot of health issues. Okay? Going back and forth to the doctor, being diagnosed with something, trying to figure out what's going on with you physically, having trouble having children, holding on to the babies, keeping children. Or this can also be mental and emotional. Okay? A lot of past pain, a lot of past hurt. Lack of self-love. But when it comes to the weakness, for some that's selected 2, you're not quite doing what it is that you need to do to keep your health at the highest capacity. You know that blood pressure run in the family. You know that diabetes run in the family. You know that high cholesterol run in the family. You know that cancer run in the family. But when was the last time you booked a doctor's appointment? When was the last time you checked your blood pressure? How many times this week have you ate fast food? Okay. So again, that is a weakness as well. For those that selected 2, we have support. So when it comes to your karmic lesson and it comes to your weakness, for some, you look to the support of others to make you feel confident in the choices that you make. For some, you could be a person that is very codependent on other people, where you're codependent on others for their emotional needs, their financial needs, however it may be. You kind of lean on others a little bit more and not really being independent in who you are. And it goes back to that indecision and trusting your intuition. You rely on support to help you move forward in life. So again, for some that selected 2, it's an issue with being independent. Okay. And then we have the dreams card. Goes back to the discipline. So for some that selected 2, you have a great imagination. You have great thoughts about your future and what you want to do, but you have a hard time manifesting it. Could be your way of thinking. You're not having enough discipline, feeling as if you don't actually or is unable to accomplish what it is that you set your mind out to do. You may feel as if you don't have the support towards your dreams. So because you don't have the outside support, it's like, well, I'm not going to do it. If it's your dreams, it is your dreams. You make your dreams come true. It's nice to have support, but at the end of the day, if this is what you want to manifest, then you have to find the strength within yourself to make it happen. And you can only do that with discipline. Okay? I'm definitely getting, for those that selected 2, is needing to work more with their sacral chakra, their third eye, and their heart chakra. Okay? So those are the karmic lessons. For those that selected 2, please click the like button, comment below. Love and light. And last but not least, for those that selected 3, what are your karmic lessons and what are your weaknesses? We have leaving or travel. We have finances. We have worry. You have perseverance. You have failure. You have romance. You have tenderness. And you have say what you mean. All right. So for those that selected 3, what are your karmic lessons? What are your weaknesses? Okay. We have leaving or traveling or travel. So this particular is more so karmic. So in your past life, you may have been a person that constantly moved. You couldn't sit still. As soon as you get bored, wanted change, you will leave. Okay. It could also be a situation where this was some work related, where you constantly was on the go. So in this life, you could be a person that doesn't quite like to stay still. You could be a person that move a lot, change jobs a lot. Okay. This is more so karmic, but it can be a weakness because even though that this is karmic, meaning this is who and what you experienced in your past life, in this life, you have the capacity to change that. So that is why it can also be a weakness where you don't like to stay seated. You don't like to be in one place at one time for too long. Sometimes that can be good. Sometimes that can be bad. Okay. You also have finances. So again, this is karmic. So in your past life, you may have been someone that was without, or you may have had it all in your past life. But in this life, I feel as if for those that selected 3, you have a hard time balancing the money that you do have. You have issues with your finances. If it's not one thing, it's another. You could be at a place where you are either completely without, having a severe lack right now, or you could be in a place where you are living comfortably. Okay? So again, this is karmic energy. It is also acknowledging worry. So, excuse me, my throat chakra. When it comes to worry, when it comes to your karmic lessons and your weakness, for those that selected 3, you worry a lot. You are worry warts. Okay? You're constantly in your thoughts. You are constantly overanalyzing. I'm also hearing for those that selected 3, you may also suffer from anxiety as well. This could be a situation where a lot of you worry a lot about financial situations. Like finances, finances, finances. And again, finances is what make the world go round. You need money to pay your bills. You need money to eat. You need money to keep your lights on, your gas on. But this is like an over excessive type of worry though. And it could be a worry for some that selected 3 are having a lack of finances and they're in a situation where they have to move. They're not quite stable. Now, when they finally get stable, something occurs and then they have to move again. And then it puts them in another financial situation. Now, again, these messages are coming up today to acknowledge the weaknesses and the karmic lessons. But they are here so you can see what the weaknesses are and try to turn these weaknesses into strengths. Okay? It is also acknowledging perseverance. Okay? So for those that selected 3, not enough motivation, not enough effort. Sometimes you feel as if what you want to do, you cannot do. That lack of confidence, that lack of effort, that lack of motivation. And so it goes back to perseverance, pushing forth for what it is that you want, knowing that you can do whatever you set your mind to. So that is a weakness for some. The next weakness or the karmic lesson is failure. So for some that selected 3, could really feel as if they are failures. They feel as if, they're not anything or they're not going to be anything, that negative way of thinking. And a lot of this comes from mistakes that they've made in the past. They are mistakes. They're not failures. Failures is endings. You made a mistake, meaning that you can try again. Okay? So changing your way of thinking, your wording, your perception. For those who are feeling as if they are failures, you're not a failure. You've made mistakes. We all make mistakes. But it doesn't mean that we stop because we make mistakes. It doesn't mean that we don't keep trying because we make a mistake. Allow that mistake that you made to be that strength for you to keep pushing forth. Because when you get in that mindset of being a failure, you do not persevere. You don't go forth. You don't get motivated. You don't have that effort. Okay? For those that selected 3, we have romance. So when it comes to a karmic lesson and a weakness, you guys may experience a lot of issues in a relationship when it comes to areas of love. Infidelity, giving too much of yourself, not receiving. I'm hearing abuse, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. Having a hard time opening up. Putting up with a lot of things that you shouldn't be putting up with in areas of love, just to have that sense of love or to have that sense of companionship. Or just going through a lot of relationship issues. Going through a lot of relationship issues. You know, where, okay, this person didn't work out, next. That one didn't work out, next. That one didn't work out, next. It's like, you know, as soon as you get bored, you drop them like a hot potato. This can also be the energy as well. And again, these are here for you to try to work on. We have tenderness. So for some that selected 3, your karmic lesson and your weakness is that you are too harsh on yourself. You do not show yourself a lot of love and compassion. You worry a lot. A lot weighs on your heart, on your mind, on your soul. You feel as if you failed at certain things, or you feel as if you're a failure within yourself. You look at certain aspects of your relationship, and instead of looking at the overall, you revert into yourself. Why me? You do not comfort the inner child that is within your soul. You do not love the inner child that is within you. So there is a need to start showing yourself more love, more compassion, more understanding, more acceptance of who you are. Okay? And then last but not least, say what you mean. So for some that selected 3, when it comes to a karmic lesson or your weakness, you keep everything to yourself. You do not express yourself because you don't want to hurt someone else. You don't want to make someone feel bad. And again, it's not what you say, but how you say it. But it is acknowledging that the more that you hold on to the pain and the things that you know that you need to speak up about, whether it's a situation or a particular person, it only sits within your soul and it just manifests. And it puts you in the place of lack of love and compassion for yourself. So Spirit is wanting you to say what you mean and mean what you say. You don't have to say it in a rude way, but you can still get your message across. It doesn't mean that you have to suppress who you are and what you are about and what you stand for, just to sacrifice someone else's emotions or feelings. What about your feelings? What about your emotions? So say what you mean and mean what you say, but always do it with love and compassion. But be firm about it. Speak your truth. So those are the messages for those that selected 3. I truly hope you enjoyed. Please click the like button and comment below. So again, this was Karmic Lessons, Your Weaknesses. This particular video was here to point to you the weaknesses or the karmic lessons that you're going through, but to use this to turn them into strengths. Okay? So I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, love and light. Blessings to you.